August 28th. That was the night that we watched on ESPN when Texas A&M went into South Carolina and absolutely cold-cocked the Gamecocks. And we all thought A&M indestructible. This was going to be another vintage Aggies team, a team that would be able to take on anybody in the SEC. And South Carolina, well, it was going to be one of those years for Steve Spurrier. Well, the latter was certainly true. The former was not. But that's how long ago that we started this journey, this exodus, this college football regular season campaign that comes to an end today. No, I don't care that Army-Navy's coming up next week. That doesn't matter. This is truly the official end of the college football regular season. And then, of course, it opens up a window of 6 weeks where we will have way too many bowl games to even consider, way too many 6-6 teams with interim coaches in these games. But they're all 50-50 betting propositions, so we'll be gambling all the way down the road. Hi, everyone. Al DeMarco here, and this is, of course, going to be your Saturday video report. Listen, here at the site, a couple of big guys in terms of plays that I want to talk about. First one would be Jeff Benton. Last night, he did it again. You got his 50-dime easy winner with Arizona and Oregon staying under the posted price. Who would have thought if I had told you prior to that game, Oregon would put 51 points on the board and yet that game would stay under the total, but it did. You got that 50-dime winner from him for just $9 last night. And, of course, on Thursday night, he hit his 75-dime NFL winner, number 10 out of 11, backing the Cowboys in their road crushing of Chicago. Well, today, he's back with another huge monster release, bigger than those two winners combined. Today, the 7th ever 200-dime release of his career, and that's a career that has spanned 11 and a half years here at the site, and it's his 6th in a row in the past 6 weeks. It's on your ACC championship game, Florida State and Georgia Tech. Guys, you've gotten 5 straight 200-dime winners from him over the past 6 Saturdays, and every one of them for at least half price off. In fact, the last 3, you've gotten them all at $75 off $70 off the regular price, and you will save $70 again today simply by using the coupon code Jeff. His first name. It is that easy. And guys, what has Jeff Benton done for you? Well, going back to April on all sports combined, he has made $10 bettors $22,080. That's the long-term run. The short-term run, he's going for winning day number 30 out of 45 today. Last Saturday, the 200-dime winner was Cincinnati getting the road win and cover at Temple. A couple of weeks back, it was Texas over Oklahoma State. Also on the road today, Florida State and Georgia Tech. To me, it is the marquee game on today's card and the most interesting one. I'm going to talk about it here in terms of a free pick in just a moment. But again, you save $70 and get it from Jeff Benton by using coupon code Jeff. Steve Buden's Cali cartel did it again yesterday. Northern Illinois, the 51-17 blowout of Bowling Green in revenge, big time in the Mid-American Conference title game. Steve Buden's number 1 football crew, the Cali cartel, now 22-8-1 on the season. Today, 50-dime football winner number 16 out of 18, and they're 7th in a row in college. And guys, listen to this. The last 3 of them, which was Northern Illinois last night, Kansas State over Kansas last Saturday, and 2 Fridays ago, it was Utah State over San Jose. Those 3 teams won by a combined score of 143-37. Today, 50-dime football winner number 16 out of 18 and 7th straight in college football. His 2014 mismatch of the year, you save $75. Just like yesterday's winner in Northern Illinois, just like last Saturday's on Kansas State, just like last Friday's on Utah State, simply by using coupon code CALI, C-A-L-I. Matt Rivers, remember last Saturday, hit his college football total of the year. You got it for $9. It was a top-rated 5,000-star play, 500,000-star play on the Baylor game with Texas Tech, easily going over the total. Today, his AAC total of the year, another top-rated 5,000. Geez, I can't get his rating right. 500,000 star release as he goes for winning day number 16 out of 24 overall. It's on your Cincinnati game at home today against Houston. The over-under, you save $90. You get it for $9 once more simply by using coupon code MAT9. This, of course, being Saturday. You know the deal, guys. Each and every Saturday for over the past 3 years, I've given you a money-saving discount coupon code that could potentially save you hundreds of dollars off your total purchase price. And today is no different. You save 25%. 25% off your total purchase price today simply by using coupon code 25%, but that's spelling it out, 25 PERCENT, no space between the number and the word, 25%. And again, this is a one-time usage coupon, but it's a mix and match coupon. You can use it for any handicapper's combination of their plays and or packages. The choice is up to you. The only stipulation is you've got to put everything in your shopping cart at one time. You can't come in and buy Jeff Bennon's 200-dime play and then go for Steve Boudin's Cali Cartel's latest 50-dime winner 3 hours later. No, you've got to put everything in your shopping cart at one time to maximize your savings. Now remember, if you happen to be in the middle of a long-term package with a particular handicapper, this also allows you to maximize your savings there. Let's say you have 10 days left in Jeff Benton's 30-day package and you wait again another 30 days to carry you through the rest of the NFL regular season. Well, guys, what would happen is you would then get a 30-day package, 10 days prior package still remaining. You'd have 40 days left. You get the 25% off the purchase price of that new package. And if you have any instant rebates applicable, they will go into effect as well. If you ever have any questions regarding any of the coupons, the discounts here at the site, please contact customer service. They will get back to you. All your other promos, discounts, etc., Gabriel DuPont, coming off 100-dime back-to-back winners, which you got at discounted prices the past 2 nights with the Cowboys on Thursday. And who was it last night? Oregon. He's going to have a big play here today. You might want to check that out over the homepage as well. Okay, let's talk about a couple of your games here. Guys, listen, Florida State and Georgia Tech. I know Georgia Tech is like the everybody jump on the bandwagon play, it seems here. You're looking at such a low line. You got a Florida State team that gets no respect from the odds makers. They're a 4-point favorite. You got a Florida State team that gets no respect from the College Football Playoff Committee. They're now number 4 in the nation. I understand why. I mean, this is a Florida State that lives on the skin of its teeth. I mean, it's a Florida State team that every single week seemingly goes down to the final quarter, the second half, the final play before pulling out a win. But it's also a Florida State team that keeps on winning. It's a Florida State team that is undefeated. And it is a Florida State team that has speed and athleticism that Georgia Tech has not run into this season. Now, speaking of running, Georgia Tech's going to have success running the ball today with the triple option because this Florida State defense isn't that good. But Jameis Winston, I don't care about his off-field problems. I'm not talking about that. But as I've said repeatedly in backing Florida State, sometimes here as video picks, how can you go against this guy with the success and the moxie he has shown in the second half of games time after time? And in this particular contest, when you're looking at that cheap of a price, well, Jesus, guys, 3.5, 4 points. I'm buying down the half point anywhere between 3 and 4.5 points. And I'm telling you, I'm going to go with Florida State in this particular contest. Quickly, let me touch on the SEC championship game. You got Alabama, a 14.5-point favorite over Missouri. Of course, Missouri in this spot last year got destroyed by Auburn. It was a give-and-take game for a while, but then Auburn just eventually pulled away for the 59-42 win. You got Alabama with the huge, huge revenge win against Auburn in the Iron Bowl last week. You have Alabama that's the superior team here, okay? You got a Missouri team that's on the road playing outside, I should say, of Columbia for the 3rd time in 4 weeks. What you have to ask yourself, though, in this game, is Auburn going to be in a little bit of a letdown spot? I know playoff committee, I know seeding, I know SEC championship, but could the Tide possibly come out a little slow here? After what happened, after the big win against Auburn, can Nick Saban get them up? That's what you got to ask yourself. I still think Alabama is the play here, but I just had handicapped the game. I mean, I wanted to go over it with you anyway. Listen, the Tide have won 7 straight since that upset to Ole Miss to start October. This Missouri defense, though, is tough. You know, Missouri's only giving up 17.8 points a game. They got 40 sacks on the season. They've got the number 8 pass defense in the country. They've got a very stingy run defense, giving up just 3.2 yards per carry to opposing backs. Again, I think Alabama might be able to pull away for the cover, but darn it, that's not a game I would touch if you even paid me. Let's take a look at that Cincinnati-Houston game early on the day. I like Cincinnati here, minus the points at home. I think everybody looks at Cincinnati last week struggling for that win at Temple 14-6. They did cover as a 7-point favorite, but you know, Cincinnati can't go out and put 35 points on the board every single week. And they may not put 35 points on the board today at home against Houston. But the thing is that Temple has a very stout defense, and you had a Cincinnati team playing its 2nd straight game on the road. Hey, They won that game, and the fact is, the Bearcats have won 6 straight games, and they're on a nice little roll here. Now, Houston's going to come in, and they've got the number 13 defense in the country, but I don't think Houston is going to be able to match points with the Bearcats, who are playing with such extreme confidence here. And when you look at what the Cougars have done lately, are you that impressed? Oh, sure, they're the only team to knock off Memphis in AAC conference play this season. But this is a Cougars team that beat SMU last week 35-9 on the road, right? Do you know it was only a 9-7 lead for the Cougars at halftime in that game against SMU? I mean, is that impressive to you? I mean, then they beat Tulsa at home 38-28. How did they let the Golden Hurricanes score 28 points on them? And before that, that's when they lost as a 17-point favorite at Tulane 31-24. Now, Greg Ward Jr., the former wide receiver who took over the starting quarterback job 6 games ago, has performed. The Cougars have won 5 of the 6 games that he has been in action. But when you consider the state of the Cincinnati team early in the season when they couldn't stop anybody, when they lost 3 straight games, when Gunnar Kiel, their quarterback, was hurt, you see how this team has rebounded and how they put it together. I like Cincinnati in this spot. And here at a spur of the moment, I also want to perhaps offer a teaser up for you. Because why wouldn't you play maybe Cincinnati -1 at home? Bearcats aren't going to lose this game. And maybe you want to tease them with Alabama. Instead of Alabama being a 14.5-point favorite, maybe you take them down to, 8.5 points against Missouri. Just a thought. I mean, so there's some interesting teaser possibilities, but that Cincinnati point spread, that is the perfect game if you're interested in a teaser. Okay, another free selection for you. I like TCU. The interesting thing is we talk about athletics and we talk about college and the spirit of the college game. The spirit of the college game is not necessarily to come on out and beat the hell out of your fellow opponent, right? And yet that's what the rankings, and now especially the playoff committee rankings, have done. Because it's put TCU in the position today that it has to annihilate Iowa State. Because Baylor, which of course beat TCU in their head-to-head matchup in that huge 3-touchdown comeback win in Waco 6 weeks ago, is playing today against a much worthier opponent, that being Kansas State. So TCU, although it certainly has played well and has gotten the attention of everybody, it still has to win this game convincingly. Well, that means TCU has to come out and score repeatedly and take advantage and run up the score against Iowa State. And I ask you, is that what athletics is all about, especially on the collegiate level? Is that what gamemanship is all about? Oh, yeah, it's gamemanship when it comes to playing the game in terms of being the noticed team in terms of the ranking. And it's been going on for years, but it's a little bit ironic, a little bit shady, too, if you ask me. But listen, this Cyclones team has allowed at least 30 points in all but one game this year. 3 times they've allowed at least 49 points. They allowed 49 in a home loss to Baylor, and Baylor caught off the Dogs in the third quarter of that one. They're allowing an average of 46 points a game. Iowa State on the ground, giving up 250 yards a game. League worst 5.71 yards per carry. That's the 4th worst mark in the entire country and the worst rushing defense among any of the teams in the Power 5 conferences. So I think TCU is going to have its way here today against Iowa State. I mean, 51-13, 62-17. Yeah, I think so. I think that's certainly called for, and they have to do it. Because remember, they're playing the noon Eastern time kickoff, right? The Baylor game, 7:45 Eastern time at night. ESPN Game Day. Everybody in Waco for that one. Do you think anybody's going to be even remembering what TCU did by the time Baylor hits the field? And everybody knows that's the game that everybody's going to be focused on. So anyway, those are your free picks. Best of luck to you all, guys, and I will catch you again on Sunday when we do this one more time for the NFL.